Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the vlog. This is going to be my reading vlog from August 21st through the 27th, so just talking about the books that I'm reading, how I like them, and all of that. So right now I only have one book started, which is Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. I'm holding up the dust jacket because I removed it from the book itself. This essentially, we follow Samantha Kingston as she lives February 12th, or Cupid's Day as it's known in her school. She lives it over and over again for 7 days. So, she lives the one day for 7 days. She's able to remember everything from the previous days. And this book, I'm not enjoying it that much. I am currently 342 pages in. It is very fast paced. It is just a quick read, as I literally started this 6 hours ago. It's about 7:30 and I started this a little after 1, so yeah, probably about 6 hours, and I'm already almost done. I think almost 75% into it, so I don't have that much left. I could probably finish it today, but kind of am starting to just be like, if I keep on reading, I'll enjoy it less, if that makes any sense, so I'll be finishing it tomorrow. But this is definitely, you can tell, it is, this book was published in 2000, and, yeah, this was published in 2010, so 12 years ago. It definitely feels like a YA contemporary from 12 years ago, because, honestly, it's not that enjoyable. It's cringe, but I'm finishing it mainly so I can use it for the page count for Witchathon, because this is a 470 page book, and that will help with Witchathon points a lot, which is a readathon I am a co-host for. And also this works for the time travel prompt on my team's bingo board. Well, it technically isn't time travel, but it's a time loop, and to me, time loop kind of fits under the time travel category. If you don't agree, well, I'm stretching the time travel prompt as I see fit, and I think that this fits. This at most will get a 3-star. I'm gonna have to run it through Compile to see. I mean, I wasn't expecting to love this, but I was expecting to at least be like, oh, it's a decent book, and at this point I'm like, I should DNF it, but I'm already basically so close to being finished that I might as well finish it. I'll probably give more thoughts on it after I actually finish it, and I'm able to be like, here's the characters, arc. Do they have a good character arc? Is there any bit of the plot that ends up getting better? Things like that. And then I don't have an ebook started, but I will be starting one here in a little bit. I have no idea what that's gonna be. Logic should say that I should read something from my TBR, but it depends on if anything actually stands out to me and I actually want to read. Because right now I'm in very much a mood reading mood. So I might read something off TBR, I might read something on TBR. I have no idea. So it's now 5:15 on Monday, and last night I ended up, between last night I started The Roommate by Rosie Dannon. I think that's how you pronounce the author's last name. And between last night and today so far, I've made it up to 50%. And this, essentially, we follow Clara, who moves from, I think it's New York to Los Angeles to get away from her family, because her family's very pushy, wants her to do certain things, and Clara is just kind of like, I'm kind of fed up. And so she ends up moving into this apartment with a roommate. This roommate's name is Josh, and without getting too into the plot, Clara basically looks Josh up to be like, who the fuck is this person that I'm going to be a roommate with, and finds out that he is a very popular porn star. And what else can I say without spoiling things? And I don't really know what else I can say without spoilers. That's literally how it was pitched to me, as sheltered because of her family. He's literally a porn star, and the two of them somehow form a relationship. So far, I'm 50% in, and this is not the direction I thought the book was going into. I don't really want to say what direction it's going into because of spoilers, but like, I mean, I'm liking the characters so far. I really enjoy their like chemistry and the way their personalities bounce off each other. The little bit of spice that we've gotten so far is like pretty good, because it is obviously a smutty book, because one of the characters is literally a porn star. What do you expect? And I think I'll save most of my thoughts for towards the end, because I'll probably be finishing it tonight, because I'm like literally feel like I'm obsessed at this point with it. I'm like, I just need to know like how they end up together, because they're 50% in, and it's kind of like you can tell there's tension, and I want that tension to actually be acted upon, basically. Well, acted upon again, I shall say. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that. And then I also finished Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. I'm giving this 2 stars. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it ended. The character didn't really have that much, like, okay, our main character Samantha did have some kind of character development, but the ending, I'm gonna say spoilers for this, so as long as this is up, expect spoilers if you care, even though this book has been out for 12 years, so I'm kind of just like, nah, fuck it. The ending pissed me off because it literally ends with her basically dying and staying dead, is how I'm perceiving the ending, which I'm like, we went through all this shit for what now? We went through all this fucking shit for what? And I have the book, the cover on upside down for the book. That's how much I care, apparently. I literally, honestly, if I wasn't reading this for Witchathon, I would have DNF'd it, but I was like, oh, the page count will help my team. So, yeah. Definitely don't recommend it. Just know, yeah. And I probably won't be starting, well, I know what physical book I'm going to start next, but I'm probably going to read that tomorrow. And so that's pretty much an update. I'm just about to upload last week's vlog, and then pretty much probably just like relax, maybe like watch some TV, finish The Roommate. That's probably all I'm going to do for the rest of the day. Okay, so last night I did finish The Roommate, and I'm giving it 4 stars because it was really good, but it didn't blow me away, and like things, I don't know, like even though I loved it, it didn't like, it definitely didn't get that 5 stars. I debated giving it 4.5, but then I'm like, am I just giving it a 4.5 to give it a 4.5? So I stuck with a 4. And like, I did really enjoy Josh and Clara as like characters because of the way that their personalities bounced off each other and the way that there was so much tension between them. I don't like how there was obviously there's a third act breakup, but it's not even a third act breakup. It's more of like a third act, we are going on a date, but you're not recognizing it as a date. And I also love how, mild spoilers, he fell first. I love that in romance is when it's a dual point of view and you see the guy falling for the girl first. Like, there'll be the girl that's like, I think I have feelings for him, but like, he probably doesn't see me that way, while in his point of view, he's like, I'm in love with that woman. And I'm gonna kind of shut up because everything else I want to say is kind of spoilers, but I love how there is a spin-off. I didn't realize when I started this that it was a series. There's the second book, which is The Intimacy Experiment, which we follow one of the side characters, Naomi, who is Josh's ex, who we see in the book, and she eventually becomes like friends with Clara a little bit, and so I'm very curious to see how that book goes. It's out, so I might see if my library has it. But then today I went and I did something very, very fun, and I got a new phone. This current phone that I'm filming with is an iPhone 7, so very old, and it like has trouble charging. Half the time I don't get proper notifications, like I won't get notifications from like various social media, or even like sometimes my alarm won't work. So I bit the bullet and got a new phone. I mean, I'm going to be paying it off for the next 2 years, but yes. We'll be going from iPhone 7 quality to an iPhone 12 quality. I literally could just look at the screen and see the difference. Honestly, it looks a little bit more yellower, but my room honestly looks yellow. So you get now what the room actually looks like compared to what it was like on the iPhone 7. Gonna be retiring this. But the physical book that I will be starting is Enders by Lissa Price. This is the sequel to Starters, where essentially we follow Callie, who we are in this world that there was this like virus that happened that killed off everybody from the age of, I think, like 19 to like 64 or something. So like all the adults, that left only the kids, teens, and the elderly alive. And now there's this technology that allows the elders to basically put their mind in a teen's body. So they basically rent a body just to do fun things that typically the elderly can't because of like their body. So like things like dancing, sports, things like that. And Callie goes ahead and she allows for her body to be used by an elder because of she'll get paid a lot of money and she's broke because, well, teens don't really have the jobs, the elderly have all the jobs. And so but then when she wakes up in her body when she shouldn't be, like the elder should still be in her body, she realizes that the procedure has gone wrong and tries to figure out how. And this is a sequel. I honestly don't know really what to expect from this because honestly, this is literally just the back of the book. Trust no one. Someone is after starters like Callie, which are like the teens. Enders can get inside her mind. Enders are like the elders. Make her do things she doesn't want to do, but they can't stop her from fighting the truth, even if it kills her. That's literally all I know because there's no other description of it. It's pretty short, like 270 pages. So I'll probably get this done today, honestly, because it's only 3:45. So yeah. So I only made it to page 98 of this. I'm realizing that if I binge it, I'm gonna not like it as much, so I'm gonna just read it slowly over the next few days. I'll also probably start another book. I have a couple other books that I need to read before the end of the month, so I'll probably read this alongside other books. And it's not that I'm not enjoying it, but that just rushing it is making me not like it because I'm not as invested in it. I mean, I know I'm not gonna love it. I only gave the first book 3 stars. But I'm liking it enough to continue it, so yeah. And the next book I will be reading is The Darkness Outside of Us by Elliot Schrieffer. And this, I don't know much about. This is the Avengers Initiative Reading Challenge group book for August, which is like a reading challenge that has taken, that started in 2021, has continued to 2022. So I will just read you the description on Goodreads because honestly I don't know what it's about yet. It's a 5-star prediction because I've heard a bunch of people say a lot of good things. So yeah. So 2 boys alone in space. After the first settler on Titan trips her distress signal, neither remaining country on Earth can afford to scramble a rescue of its own, and so 2 sworn enemies are installed in the same spaceship. Ambrose awakes on the coordinated Endover with no memory of a launch. There's more that doesn't add up. Evidence indicates strangers have been on board. The ship's operating system is voiced by his mother, and his handsome, brooding shipmate has barricaded himself away. But nothing will stop Ambrose from making his mission to succeed, not when he's rescuing his own sister. In order to survive the ship's system, Ambrose and Kodiak must work together and learn to trust one another, especially once they discover what they are truly up against. Love might be the only way to survive. I don't know, it sounds like it might be interesting. My hold from my library literally came in yesterday, so I'm like perfect time. This is like who knows, I could either love it or hate it. I'm always indifferent with sci-fi because I'm like, I don't read much, so anytime I read one, I'm either like, this is gonna be really good or this is gonna suck, and this one sounds like it might be good. But who knows? Who knows? We'll have to see. Okay, so it's 5:30 on Wednesday, and I didn't pick up the camera until now. But last night I made it to 33% of the darkness outside of us, and I'm really enjoying it. It very much has like a trope that I like, that is forced proximity, because literally Ambrose and Kodiak are the only people on the spaceship. And currently where I'm at is because they went from like not talking to now they're talking and trying to figure out a little mystery, and I'm like very interested in this mystery, because I'm like, none of it's making any sense to both me and the characters, so I'm like, let's figure this out. It's very fast paced and easy to read, and even the like sci-fi elements are written so they're easy enough to understand, especially as a person that doesn't really understand a lot of scientific terms. I'm gonna be honest, science in school was not my not a subject I was that good in, and hopefully I should be finishing that tonight, because again, it's very fast paced. The characters, even though like the characters' personalities bounce off of each other quite well, and I just feel like I might be able to finish it tonight. Who knows? I also started Stormbreak by Natalie C. Parker. This is the third book in the Seafire trilogy, where essentially we follow Caledonia as she is the captain of this all-female crew, and she tries to take down this basically evil person named Eric, who is trying to like control all the waterways and all of that. And that's kind of the very, very brief premise of the first book. There's like the element of getting revenge, there's the element of like found family, and like all-female crew, a character that gets basically like a second chance after deflecting Eric to like Caledonia's crew. And with this one is basically we have Caledonia and her crew trying to expand to more people so they can take down a new person that has come into power. And yeah, I am currently 104 pages into this. I'm listening to the audiobook, which if I would have known the audiobook would have been this good, I would have read this months ago, but it was more of like I needed to wait for my holds from my library to come in. It came in end of July, I think, and so I'm finally getting around to reading this, and I'm gonna be finishing a series. Woohoo! I'm really enjoying this. I kind of forgot how much I love the characters, and I'm overall really enjoying it. And then I'm also now up to page 179 of Enders, and I'll be finishing this tonight. I'm going to be actually reading a little bit more of this here just right now, and again, fingers crossed I'll finish it tonight, because I have less than 100 pages left, so I'm like, you might as well just finish it because you're enjoying it. So yeah. So since the last clip, I have showered and I finished Enders, and I'm giving it 2.5 because I know for a fact nothing from this book is gonna stick, except, okay, this book was almost gonna be a 2. That was what I was thinking about halfway through. I was like, this might just be a 2 stars, but there was a plot twist that came out of completely nowhere that bumped it up half a star. And basically there was like this character who is introduced that I was like, something sus about you, but I can't pinpoint what, so we're just gonna ignore that and just enjoy reading. But then there was a plot twist involving that character, which I honestly didn't expect, but then it also partway, like after a couple pages, it made me realize something of like, oh my god, something that happened in the first book then now ties back a little more, and you're like, wait, what? And so that's what bumped it up to the 2.5. I will probably be unhauling this series at some point, because I'm never gonna reread it. Since the first book was 3 stars, this was 2.5. I mean, I don't regret reading it, I don't regret finishing it, but it's just meh. Yeah, not much to say. It's currently 7:30, And I think I might crawl into bed because I'm tired, because basically my body decided at 6 a.m. I was like, hey, I'm gonna wake up. And then I was like, I'm gonna go back to sleep. And then it was like on and off sleeping, like waking up every 10 minutes until about 8 o'clock. And then I was like, fuck it, I have to stay awake. Because I had to make a phone call earlier that had to be done at 9:30. So yeah, so I'm a little tired. I'm probably gonna read more. I'll probably finish The Darkness Outside of Us. If not, well, I'll let you know in the morning. So it's 12:30 on Thursday, and I guess that The Darkness Outside of Us would be 5 stars because that's what I ended up giving it. I finished it last night. Holy shit, this book, okay. I don't want to spoil anything, but this took a turn that I never would have guessed, and I've never seen in a book. To my knowledge, I've never read something like this. This probably is my favorite sci-fi I've read. Granted, I haven't read that much, but this is probably one of my favorite sci-fis, especially a standalone sci-fi, as just there's twists and turns that you don't expect, like around like the 45% mark, give or take. Like, first of all, through the entire first half of the book, I was literally going, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? Because obviously there's this mystery element. There's all these things that you're just like questioning that doesn't make any sense at all. And then there's like something happens, and I literally remember like almost dropping my brand new phone on the floor because I literally like had to like sit up so fast and go, what the fuck did I read, that it almost flew out of my hand. So if there's literally a moment where I almost throw my phone across the room because of a like twist, you know it's gonna be a 5 stars. And I love the characters, Ambrose and Kodiak, the way that they bounce off each other, and like later in the book, and I can't really explain certain things because it's spoilers, but oh my gosh. And if you've ever thought about picking this book up, oh my gosh, do it. I'm so glad that I picked it up. I'm probably gonna be buying a physical copy at some point because I'm definitely gonna want to reread it and see, like, because there's there's like a mystery element. So I did put this for Witchathon for the mystery prompt, because literally the entire half is the characters trying to figure out shit, and then throughout the later part of the book is still trying to figure things out, but in a different way. I don't know what else I can say, but like this book honestly blew my mind. Honestly, could possibly be on my like top 10 books of the year because of the plot twist. And just, I loved it. I'm gonna shut up because I'll start spoiling things. But yeah, at least I finished that. I loved it. Again, gonna shut up. Later I'll be reading more of Stormbreak, which is right there. And I'll be starting another ebook. I don't know what that will be. I'll have to figure that out. Okay, we're gonna mind the hair. I'm not in the mood to fix it. But it is now 7:30 on Friday, and I obviously didn't update the camera until now, but since the last update, we may have gotten a new dog named Frizzle. I'll pop up a photo of him here because he does not want to sit still long enough to take a clip of him, like, for this. But he is a 14-year-old Shih Tzu. I can never say that properly. So, this breed, because I can never say it properly for some reason. And we got him because, long story short, my cousin was like watching him for one of her friends over the summer, and he was supposed to be picked up on the 15th. It's now the 26th, and all of my cousin's text messages to the person about like, when are you coming to pick up your dog? If you don't come pick up your dog, I'll be rehoming him. All of those kind of messages are left unread. It's kind of like I think the owner just abandoned him. I think the previous owner just decided, I don't want a dog anymore, I'm gonna abandon him. and at least he was abandoned with my cousin, who has 2 dogs of her own, but she couldn't keep him because where I live, there's like a legal limit of like animals that you can have, and she's technically already past that. Plus she fosters cats and dogs, so that adds a lot on her plate. Plus she's a single mom, so like my cousin really couldn't handle another dog for much longer, because she was like, oh yeah, the middle of August, then one less animal to deal with. So we said we would take him because just he's getting old. Like so far he's been very easy to take care of. And my mom said about a month ago that we weren't gonna get any more animals, and yet Frizzle has been added to the household. But my mom has also always wanted a little dog like this, and like I had a dog from the time I was born until I was 4 years old, and then I haven't had a dog since, so this is kind of like a fun thing because I've always wanted a dog, but we've never been able to get a dog. And so far the cats are kind of like, we're keeping him? Like, you're serious we're keeping him? Like, they're kind of just like, he's here, I guess. But they'll probably warm up to each other after a little bit. As for reading, I am 132 pages into Stormbreak. I'm slowly trudging through this. I will probably read a little bit more tonight, but who knows. Honestly, I'm in the middle of a chapter, so I'll probably finish this chapter and that might be it, because I'm just not really in the biggest reading mood right now. And then last night I continued Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. This is like a vampires. We follow Beth, who figures out that she's like half vampire, and like I honestly don't know how to describe this. I started this last month and then kind of put it down, didn't pick it up, and so I'm gonna try to finish it now. But I am enjoying it. I'll probably read it slowly over the next few days. Maybe start something else alongside it. I don't really know. But I figured that's just a little update. Okay, so it's actually Sunday and I forgot to vlog on Saturday. But yesterday, so Saturday, I did finish Stormbreak by Natalie C. Parker, and I'm giving it 4 stars. Every single book in this series was 4 stars. I love the found family. I love the of how it's pirates, but they're using technology that doesn't even exist in like our world. So it's like a fantasy with pirates, but it leans a little bit sci-fi because of the technology. And I just love it how it's just this found family, and it also focuses on like females leading. Like this one thing on the back literally is really accurate, is steeped in queerness and feminist revolution, making for a wholly refreshing sci-fi adventure narrative. That, I don't know, that I read that after I finished the book. Like I read the back for some random reason, and I'm like, that fits this series perfectly. I love it. I don't own a copy of Stormbreak, but I'm like, I might, because I own a copy of the first 2. Because I do love this series, and I'm really glad that I finished it. And then I also finished Dark Lover by J.R. Ward, and I'm giving this 3 stars because the only characters that I gave 2 shits about are Beth and Wrath, who are like the main characters, who are the 2 characters that have like the like romantic story going through. But even then, at a certain point, I was just kind of like, can we get this over with? But I gave it 3 stars because there was parts that I liked. But for example, anytime we were in any other character's point of view, I kept them in like, okay, when are we gonna be done? I will be continuing the series at some point, because I'm gonna give it a couple books into the series, because this is a like 20 plus book series. I honestly don't even know how many books there are, but like I enjoyed it enough to give another book or 2 a shot, I think. if I don't start loving the series by like book 3 or 4, that's when I'll be like, it's just not for me. It could be just because it definitely has that like 2000s vibe because it came out in 2005. Like I was a year old when this book came out, so definitely ages. Didn't connect with really any of the characters, and honestly celebrated finishing it. So yeah, but I'm gonna end this vlog because this was supposed to be ended yesterday and I need to start editing this vlog. But I really hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I hope to see you in my next vlog slash video, and bye.